Oh. Wait till everybody comes in. We're a couple minutes early. What are you doing? What are you doing? You excited? Hey, welcome. Glad you made it home. Good news, too, about your family. Really glad to hear about that. Diesel, you got to smile. You were part of the deal. You got to say, hey. Diesel. Hey, silly. Give people a few minutes to get in. We started early. Wanted to make sure that we got in this time, too. You're welcome. Diesel, you're supposed to be in the camera view. Remember, that was the deal, a double dose of Diesel. He said, what's up, buddy? Huh? You got to say Semper Fi. Semper Fi. Hope your animals are doing good, too, in your absence. Hey, you're a good boy. Oh, glad to hear you got your power back on. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had that power issue last night. Didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in the cold weather.
Yeah, we were glad ours didn't. It was a quick thing. That was the last thing we needed. What's the temperature by you? An embarrassing 34 degrees. Yeah, I'm glad you have it, though. We're supposed to be 24 during the day tomorrow and then 0 at night. Tonight's the last night of, I think it's going to be minus 17 or 18. And we've had enough. I think I hit my breaking point today because I was more worried about the animals than us. At least we have a warm house to go into. But
yeah, we put a lot of extra bedding and heat lamps and make sure that we take care of the animals.
Hey, cracked eggs. Glad you're here. Hope you're holding up okay in the frigid South Dakota weather. Appreciate you stopping by. I see Joy Flakers, he did the same. That's good. That's good. Probably had you worried since you had to go out of town, too. We've been busy doing some projects. Today we did, got 2 more videos coming up. Ready for positive temps again. Yeah, I agree. By the end of our week, it's going to be like a heat wave.
Yeah, we did a few projects over the weekend. The videos will be out in the next day or two or next week.
Yep.
Just to give you kind of a little idea, we had, as you know, we got the pigs recently. So we saw that they were tipping their feeders and waters. So we built a feeder to hold their feed tubs. And we also built a hay feeder for them. Feel it'll be less waste and a little bit easier for them to get to.
Yeah. And we were grateful because we have a garage that has a wood stove in it. So we use all the scrap wood that's useless and we burn that. And then Ryan has a propane heater and we had that on. So at least it was bearable so we could get it done. Maggie, the female there, she knocked the water over at least 15 times Friday. And it was enough because we're thinking if we were at work, I was home not feeling well, but if we were at work, they'd be, without water, and we were worried about that. So I'd get up and go out and fill it, and 2 seconds later, she'd dump it again. Winston, on the other hand, he's kind of tiny, and Maggie is more like a mom to him than a sister, I think, because she's got him all snug under the shavings and the straw, and when you open the door, she jumps up, looking all mad that you opened the door, and Winston ends up laying there snoring and his face is covered in straw. So it's pretty funny, but it was good. We made Ryan made the feeder out of stuff we had on hand. So we didn't have to buy anything, use some scraps we had. And then the water feeder station also out of stuff that we had. So it was really good. And then we'll just move that to the new pig barn. Stop hitting me.
Yeah. Good weekend for, inside projects.
Diesel, what are you doing? You live? Say hi. But yeah, good weekend and glad we got that fixed. And hopefully next weekend we can get them moved into the pig barn because Maggie's getting too big to go in and out the meat bird door. We just put them in there temporarily because we realized they were smaller than we thought when we got them. And when we got home that day, we were like, oh no, they can fit through the fence. So we'll put up a line of electric fencing to make sure that doesn't happen. And that way they could be in their big new barn. But at least this barn was really, really good. Hey, River Rock Homestead, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you. We were just talking about some projects that we did this weekend for the pigs.
Yeah, probably in the next month or so, we'll start. We have a small garden. We'll probably show you this spring, but we'll probably start planting the seeds, getting the seeds going here in the next, I don't know, by the end of February or the end of, or beginning of March.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be doing that as well.
Oh, the weather. Let's see. I'll give you the latest right now. Today should be our last day is what they're saying. So it's -6 here and we're under a wind chill warning, which, surprise, surprise. It's been like this all week. So -6 right now and it's about 5:30 here. And we're supposed to go down. Originally it said -17 or 18, but it looks like the lowest I'm seeing is -13. You're buried in snow out there, I see. We're not buried in snow. We've actually had a very mild winter snow-wise, and we need it, for the moisture. But all this week we had about, I don't know, like 2 inches a day. Yeah, we got a little tired of it, and between that and the cold, I think we ended up plowing down to the barns to make our lives easier. 10 tonight, a few miles north of us. Woo.
Wow.
But so I see Joyful Acres. You came home to a few crushed fence panels on the goat pen where the trees fell during the ice storm. Ooh, I hope it's nothing too major. At least it's fence panels, not on the animals or the barns. But it's still a pain. And yeah, we love doing projects too. We've done a lot of things. We stay busy. Diesel, what are you doing? We try to stay busy. Ryan's really the crafty one or the, skilled one at doing carpentry and doing things. So he heads up that stuff. I just help. So,
Yeah,
but
which is important.
Yeah, I'm getting better at doing
Assembling and measuring.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff he's teaching me. But we're doing good. Diesel, if you could see this, look at him. What are you doing? Let me move over so we can see you. We can see you. You there? There you are. Thank you. Actually, this is Reuben the Bulldog. If you've never seen him on YouTube, he's in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we used to live in North Carolina, but actually on the opposite end of the state from him. But Reuben the Bulldog is on YouTube, and he's hilarious. We love him too. Oh, thank you, handsome fella. Thanks, River Rock. And Joyful Acres, thank you. He says he loves that guy. Here, we got to get you on. Come here. Come here, Deez. I'm doing the Zoom thing. I got my pajama pants on the bottom. There you are, Diesel. Let's try and get you in here. There's your face. Now Daddy's out, huh? Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the video on Instagram where I called him in and I said, Daddy's home, and he came running in. And then I had to ask for forgiveness. But he definitely listens to Ryan a lot better than I do, than he does to me.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So Joyful Acres, I see you're going to weave in some new pieces in the morning. That's cool. Is it coming across okay, the live? Just curious. Do you guys have any questions for us that you want us to answer or anything? Okay, good. It's coming across. Great. Glad to hear that. We were joking if we did this at our home in North Carolina, the internet was horrible, and we were thinking like the live would have never happened ever at that place compared to here. Just here to hang. Well, we're glad to have you here to hang. All right, take care. Live free or die. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, so let's see. So we ordered some chickens. Do you want to get the catalog and I can take a look through it? It's over by the table there. So we ordered some more chickens, and we also ordered some turkeys. We're in North Carolina. We were in Asheville, actually right outside of Asheville, so it was still in Buncombe County. We lived there since about 2011. Before that, we were living in Connecticut. And so we moved from North Carolina to here. So we're back in the kind of weather we're used to. Oh, Diesel. Oh, geez. So let's see, what kind of chickens did we get? We ordered from Hoover's Hatchery, and we got a couple of Plymouth Rocks, barred Plymouth Rock. We got 2 of those. We got, bear with me, I'm flipping through here. We got 2 Prairie Bluebell Eggers, 2 Easter Eggers. Let's see. I screwed up when I ordered because I really wanted a golden lace Wyandotte. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but that's what they look like. And I screwed up. I wanted to get those, but next time. And Diesel's jumping around behind me here like a jungle gym. 2 Lavender Orpington. And then 2 Easter Brown.
Yeah, the one thing we're trying this year that's new to us is turkeys. We're getting 4 turkeys. I'm sure Lisa will show you those, but we're looking forward to getting raising some turkeys this year.
Yep, we're gonna get, let's see here. They are beautiful birds. And then the turkeys that we got, I think we got 10 chickens. I think I named them all. And we already have 11. So what we started with was, we started with 12. And as if you've been watching our channel, one of them got taken by a predator, just disappeared. And that was a golden comet. So we originally started off with 4 golden comets. I'm sorry, 4 Rhode Island Reds, 4 Leghorns. And then I went back the next day and I got 4 golden comets. So we have 11 now, so just missing one of the comments, but they're powerhouses. We got 8 eggs today and they've been locked in the coop all day long with very little light. So Diesel, I think Diesel wants to get down. He's had enough. What kind of predators do we have locally? The day that the one was taken, excuse me, the day that the one was taken was like an overcast day in September, and it was right before we were getting a not typical snowstorm. And so I had let the girls out to free range, and that's what we've been doing, and everything would be fine. In hindsight, I think it was a bad idea because when it's been overcast like that, we ended up we've seen owls on the property. So either an owl or a hawk,
bald eagles. There are
bald eagles,
here.
Coyotes. We have what's that?
There's bobcats, mountain lions. There's a lot within this area. Being in the this part of South Dakota, it's pretty remote, I'd say, and there is a lot of predators in this area. Different. My guess is it was a bird.
Yeah, we think something just took her. When we came back in the yard to look for them, we could only find, I think it was 4 or 5 of them were by the end of the chicken run, and you could see they were afraid. And then it was like this frozen drizzle, and it was coming down, and I think it took us about 3 hours to find the rest of them. We kept walking around, and they wouldn't come when they were called, and they always came when I call them. They come like crazy, and they wouldn't come at all. So we thought maybe she got stuck somewhere and couldn't get back out, because I read that chickens can back into something and then they can't get back out. So yeah, and I see River Rock, you said definitely animals bulk up and prowl before storms. So yeah, that was our bad. So we've been keeping them in the coop more, unless we're out in the yard, because we figure maybe that's a deterrent. I know that's not real farmer stuff. That's more Lisa stuff. What led us from North Carolina to South Dakota? Such an extreme change. No kidding. You want to answer that?
Yeah, the industry that I work in has given me the opportunity to go several parts of the country. We started in North Connecticut. That's where I was born and raised in northwest corner of Connecticut. Moved to North Carolina for the industry that I'm in, and then I had an opportunity to move out here, accept a similar position, and so yeah, it's been able to see quite a bit of the United States. And when we came out here, we really liked the area. Growing up in New England, it was the weather. You had 4 seasons in general. North Carolina, a lot of heat and humidity. And then I know the first year that I was out here, I really enjoyed the weather, having the 4 seasons. Again, it's a little more rural.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a I wouldn't say, we were on the outskirts of a decent metropolitan city, Asheville, I guess, population of, I don't know, 80, 90,000 perhaps. Mm-hmm. So being out in a rural area, we prefer that. So that's kind of what led us out here.
And that's Diesel running around on the hardwood floors. Yeah, we had some northern climate experience then, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's funny, where we actually lived was called the Ice Box of Connecticut.
Yeah.
We were near the highest elevation for Connecticut. I still think it's around 17 or 1,800 feet.
Yeah.
But here we're at around
over 5,000.
A little over 5,000. Yeah.
Yeah. We yeah, I mean, so Ryan ended up moving out first in March of 2019. And then I stayed back in North Carolina to take care of the house and work and all that. And then we would commute back and forth, like he would come home for a bit or I'd come out. And we just wanted to make sure everything was working before we settled here, because we usually buy a house wherever we go. And So then I ended up coming out January of 2020, right before the pandemic started. And then the pandemic started. So, but it was kind of nice. And then I started working and we ended up finally just selling our house in North Carolina. So that was good.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get those 4 seasons in Central Virginia. That's cool. And River Rock, I see you have a pair of bald eagles nesting 60 feet above your home.
Wow.
And lost a goat to a cougar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's normal. You know, I think that's why another reason why we put the pigs in the meat bird coop temporarily, you know, because I guess in our heads, we never had pigs before and we know piglets, right? And they were 4 months old. I guess I thought 4 months old, they'd be bigger. But I guess what I was thinking was 4 months old, they'd be bigger if they were, you know, Berkshire pigs. But they're Mangalitsa, Duroc, and Berkshire mix. And so they're a lot smaller. I mean, I think they're like 25, 30 pounds.
Yeah, about 30 pounds.
About 30 pounds. And I was like, oh, I was afraid to keep them out there because, man, they're easy pickings. So we ended up putting them in the meat bird coop for the cold snap. And then they can also, you know, be in a smaller run. And that way it's thoroughly enclosed so they're protected. So I think I'll be a little nervous mama when I put them back out in the pig barn next week. But that's what we're hoping for. Hopefully with the electric fence will keep anything away. But, you know, again, that's stuff out of your control. And I see Joy Flakers, you raised turkeys. We got, what did we get, 4?
4. Yep.
4 bourbon red. So I have questions for you guys. So 4 bourbon red turkeys. We have a building to put them in. And we're going to put them, there's a building behind our grain building. I think it used to house like a miniature donkey or horse or something. That's scary though. Glad I don't have large cat issues, just falconels and some coyotes. That's scary enough. So yeah, so we're going to put them in the building beyond there. And then we want to give them a run also, but don't they, here's the thing. I feel stupid, but I'm going to ask, don't they fly out of the run that you give them unless you enclose it? Or do you clip their wings? Like, what do you do? I'm curious. I don't know. Because some people, you know, let them free range, and I'd like to be able to do that. But when I'm at work, I'd like to be able to put them in an area that I know they're safe. So I guess I'm comparing turkeys to laying hens. And I shouldn't be. That's silly. Help me out. Any thoughts on that? Hey, Diesel. But, so yeah, so we're just hanging out. It's cold. Hopefully it'll warm up this week. It should feel like a heat wave getting in the 30s. Trying to think of, we had, before we started doing YouTube, our first videos were really processing Red Ranger meat birds. Oh, Joy Flakers, you can clip. We have broad-breasted whites, and they did not fly at all. Okay, fairly easy to clip too. I was looking online. I think we'll end up doing that, but I'm assuming if you're feeding them, they'll probably stay close to home. Like, because I know the commercial turkeys, when I went to the feed store to order the birds, the guy said that because they're not the commercial breed turkeys, they tend to act more like quote unquote pets, is what he said. So, and they stick close to home so you can free range them and all that. Whereas the commercial ones might take off, but we'll see how that goes. Ours are too friendly to want to leave or fly about.
Yeah,
good to know.
That's probably the same. The chickens are that way too, I guess, when we let them free range and give them mealworms and scratch and whatnot, they tend to stay close.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying before we started this YouTube, or our first start of YouTube was processing the meat birds, but we had 16 Red Ranger meat birds that we started with this year. They were delicious. I know online there's some, people are all about the Cornish cross or people are all about the Red Ranger, but I have to tell you, those birds were delicious. They were small, but they were really delicious. Plus they get too fat, especially if you're raising them to process. That's what we'll be doing with them. So they'll get too fat. Good to know. Do you have roosts for them? I'm curious. I was going to put roosts in the coop that we're going to give them, but we've never had them before. So I have to do some research on that. Diesel's running around with his toy, looking for someone to play with. But I think this year we're going to do some batches of meat chickens.
Yeah.
So first what we're going to do is get the chicks mid-March, put them, we're going to get the pigs moved out of the meat bird coop. We're going to put the chicks in the brooder, which is a truck box that we have. So we're hoping to show more about that. That worked out so good. It's a metal, is it diamond plate?
Yeah.
Truck box, and Ryan fashioned it to 2 sawhorses, and it's off the ground and it's just great. We put it in an insulated room in the back of our garage. And the great thing about it is you dump everything out and you hose it down, let it dry, and it's good to go the next time. But we're going to put the chicks in the brooder when we get them mid-March and grow them up. And then we're going to put them in the meat bird coops till they get large enough to be able to go with the existing flock. And then we'll start with our meat bird rotations. And I think we're going to try some Cornish cross this time as well. They will roost. Okay. Yeah. Then I'm going to definitely do that. We got 4 of them, so we figure we'll put some roosts.
Pretty good size building for 4.
Yeah.
I think.
And for 4, it's easy enough to put some roosts up there. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. All right. Well, I think we're going to get going. Our dinner's almost ready, so we're going to go have some supper. Really appreciate everybody who joined. Thank you so much. And Joyful Acres, thanks for helping me test this earlier. And everybody, thanks for your patience. And with last night's debacle, live stream gate 2021. But have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Yeah. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Oh. I just saw Roost and Rescue coming in. We were just going to sign off. They actually roosted in trees here on the property. They would never coop up once they were 16 weeks in free range. Okay, good to know. Roost and Rescue, glad you're here. We were just signing off, but I didn't want to hit end as you joined in. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, now we'll have to stay on. I hope everything's good by you. I know on Instagram you were talking about some struggles with the cold and no water and stuff like that. I'm going to watch your video tonight. I want to hear all about this name change. I really like it. Thanks, Joyful Acres. Good night. Oh, sorry, no running water still. That's horrible. Well, I'm grabbing your coffee. I'll stay on a few minutes. Ryan's got to go do dinner though, so I'm going to let him go.
Bye. Thanks for joining.
I'll definitely stay on with you. If you want, I'll recap the birds that we went over. Diesel's our bulldog. He's running around, and we have like 2 steps into our kitchen, and he's on the first step standing there like this. Yes, recap. We should all hang out like this more often. Definitely. All right, here comes the recap. Just for you. Because I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you so much. Okay. So we ordered from Hoover's Hatchery, and we're waiting for the birds to come in. And we ordered 2 barred Plymouth Rocks. We got 2. We got 2 Prairie Bluebell Egger, 2 Easter Eggers, 2 lavender Orpingtons and 2 Issa Brown. And I was saying that I screwed up because I had placed the order and then I was in a rush and I forgot that I really wanted to add 2 gold-laced Wyandotte. So I think next year I'll do those. They're just gorgeous. And then we ordered 4 bourbon red turkeys. And yes, I'm afraid to order my chicks for fear they'll arrive dead. So no, I've never had this problem. And I'll be honest, I ordered them from a feed store that we use all the time. So he's getting them delivered, which means he's always ready and he orders in bulk. And so I don't deal with that end of it. And then 2 days later, he has me come get them. So it just makes sense. I pick them up on the way home from work. The first batch of chickens that we bought, we ended up buying, I want turkeys. I just buy my chicks in the store from the hatchery. I mean, I'll wait a little longer for them. I don't want them to come dead, especially with all the stories about the post office, being overwhelmed and all this stuff. And I just don't think that that's not what I want to do right now. I think I'm going to hold off. That's a great setup. Yeah, it is. It is. So I go to the local feed store. I just ordered him. He said he'll call me when they come in. He orders a lot. Tractor Supply loves you mostly because when I go there, I buy them out. There you go. I mean, at least you're able to see what you're getting. And yeah, you may pay a little bit more because you're not buying them wholesale, but I'm fine with it. And so I think the first, I was saying earlier, we ordered 12 and we didn't order 12. I picked up 8 at Baumgar's, which was a local Tractor Supply store. So we ended up buying 4 Rhode Island Reds because I fell in love with their little wings and the coloring on their wings. It's just cute as day. And then we ended up buying 4, they called them white layers. Turned out they were leghorns. So we had those. And then the next day I went down and I got 4 golden comets. So we have 11 now because one was taken and by a predator. And so we've got those girls out there in the coop. And the coop in this cold weather with the heaters going is about 34 earlier. So, and the turkeys, he'll do a special order for turkeys. So even though the chicks will come about mid-March, the turkeys will come about, I think, mid-April. So we'll have 4 bourbon red turkeys. And Joyful Acres was on here and he was just telling me to put roosts in there for him. So I'm pretty excited. Hatch most of your chicks, but I fired Red the rooster because he gave us 10 roosters. Yeah, I don't blame you. Fire him. So what incubator have you used to hatch your own chicks? Because I think next year I want to start doing that. I think one of the other things too is we're going to be ordering meat birds, and I think I want to get into hatching some meat birds because it's a little more sustainable. We had 16 Red Rangers earlier that we were talking about, and they were delicious. Mama hens, no incubator. Nice. Nice. I don't know I'm going to try that, but I don't know. This weather just, but I know mama hens know what they're doing. So that's good. But yeah, we were talking about that and everybody's holding up pretty good. Believe it or not, the pigs, we were talking about our 2 upcoming videos. We did a feed and water station at a stuff we had on hand. All we bought was the 1 feed bucket. The other one we already had. And then we made a hay feeder today out of stuff we had on hand. And so that'll be our second video this week. And that one was all out of stuff we had on hand. Hey, Walker Farm fan, thanks for joining. Appreciate you stopping by. So yeah, so we're doing a lot of projects around the house and getting things done. And the good news is everybody's holding up during this cold weather. We rub bag balm all over our chickens' combs and wattles to keep them from getting frostbite. I didn't even know about that trick until I saw somebody on Instagram who did it. Because we were starting to see some signs of frostbite, even though we had them warm enough in there. Unfortunately, we can't bring them in the house. I just don't think Diesel's going to go for it. Yes, you too, Walker Farm fam. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate your support. Stay warm and safe with all the ice storms you got going on. Bag Bomb. Can you hand me the Bag Bomb? I'll show you what it is. It's really good. We've been using it for years before we even had it's big in New England. It's called Bag Bomb, and it's Vermont's original. And it says Bag Bomb Skin Moisturizer, hand and body for dry skin that can crack, split, or chafe. Our poor roosters are frozen. Oh no! They use it a lot for cattle. I guess what it started out as for udders, right? For udders, and it's a medicated balm, and you can put it on everything. And so honestly, before we started doing this homestead thing, what we used it for was really dry hands in the winter, really dry cracked heels and feet and all that kind of thing. We had a bulldog, well, our old bulldog, Yogi, hence the name. We ended up putting it on his paws, and it would moisturize his, the pads of his paws, which was really good. And now that we have the homestead, we ended up putting it on the chickens last night because I saw somebody putting Vaseline on. And so we were starting to see right at the tips of the shorter comb chickens that they were starting to get some frostbite. And so what we did was, obviously, we locked them back in again, and we rubbed this on them. And I think it's better than Vaseline because it's medicated. So it says hands, feet, elbows, knees, cuticles, lips, face, dry skin that can crack, split, or chafe. Legendary rescue balm from the farms of Vermont's rugged Northeast Kingdom. I'll let Ryan. This is Ryan, my husband. He was on earlier. Hello. And then he just walked away when you came on. So does it say it? I don't think it says it, but if
no, it doesn't have.
If you type
yes,
in,
it does.
Oh, what?
Petrolatum, lanolin, hydroxyquinoline sulfate, and paraffin wax. So it's pretty. You can't see that real well, but you can pick it up. I think it's in most farm supply stores. I think they'll have it at Tractor Supply. Yeah. I know they had it at, we have another supply store out here called Runnings. They had it, but it's not as dense as Vaseline, but it's really, it works well on people and animals.
Yeah. It's really greasy, but like Ryan was saying earlier, it's all about, it used to be used on udders, dry chapped udders and stuff. But yeah, you can Google it. I'm
sure you can get it. You probably can get it on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in Walgreens. I can tell you that much. You can get it anywhere. Tractor Supply, I think, has the little tin cans for it.
A couple different sizes.
Yeah, but it's Vermont's original Bag Bomb Skin Moisturizer, and it's in a green can. So that'll be definitely something you can use. But I think we covered everything. So yeah, I think we're gonna get going now. We were just gonna get ready because our dinner was going, and I wanted to stay on a little bit, but we're gonna get going. We've got Ryan as the cook here, not me. What are you making tonight?
Making a pot roast with potatoes, carrots, onions.
Yeah, so we're gonna go have a nice warm meal, get ready for the week. It's gonna be like a heat wave. No, we were glad to stay for you. No worries at all. We were glad you were here. Have a great night. I hope you get your water back and everything, and I hope everything gets warm.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. It was great talking to you. Have a great night. Take care. Bye.